Well, how about something a little different today, guys? I wanted to do a little yard work, and I have these grass shears that just aren't cutting it anymore. And they are dull. I've gone at them a little bit with a file, but I figure, gosh, I've got a sharpening system, diamond stones. Why not tackle it? So that's what we're going to do today and see if we can get those nice and sharp. So there's probably a number of things I ought to do with these. There's a lot of buildup of gunk, dirt, and plant residue on this this blade here, and it probably needs to be cleaned off. Obviously, I could clean up the face of the blades, but the most important thing is to clean anything off that prevents this from sliding. So I think that needs to be done, and then sharpen this edge. So looking at these, I can see that if I remove that, then I can probably swing this out of the way and be able to put that in the clamp. So that's going to be our first step, is to take that off. So let's see if that is as easy as it looks. Let's see if I can cut myself with a screwdriver. Oh, wow, so it's got some kind of locking mechanism holding that into place, so that's going to be a problem. However, it looks like I could probably just do that and keep that down out of the way. So we will see if that will work, and I can even put those down there to hold that. So I think that'll work. All right, so number one, we're going to have to get rid of the gunk that's on there. So I'm going to use a piece of sandpaper. And let's do that first. So again, my thoughts on this are just looking at the design of the item and the way it functions. The blades need to be able to freely slide over the top of each other. So all of this ancient grass residue needs to be cleaned off. And this tells me that I probably need to do a little better maintenance on this tool if I want to use it long term. Each time that I get done with it. And it looks like it's got a little concave work to it. And we'll go ahead and even clean up this top. Might as well, right? See if we can, I don't know if I can even get it to where you can read the brand on there or not. It's not incredibly important to me. But it would be interesting. Take a little rubbing alcohol on there. And I may have just gotten rid of anything that was there. If so, it sure was light. Interesting. All right, and that bottom doesn't really matter much, but there is a little bit of dirt on there. Might as well clean all that off too. Reveals a beautiful pattern there. That's quite interesting. All right. Let's put this in the clamp. So I think a simple straight clamping will work, or got a secondary bevel there that I'm going to follow. I'm not going to try and do a full Scandi grind on this thing. And it looks like I've got a little cleanup in the shop today. So we want that to just hang out of the way, and it looks like that's going to happen naturally. So we should be good to start sharpening. With this being a garden tool, don't think I need to be real fine. I am going to start with a 250 stone. And so we will put some marker on there to check that. And I will probably just hold that out of the way. I think we need to be a little steeper on that angle. Yeah, still. So we're just getting the top edge of that shoulder of the edge. That's getting a little closer. I can see a lot of unevenness on this. So I'm going to go ahead with that angle and see if I can just clean this up. So this will be a complete reprofile on these shears. Guess I can lock that in. Use a little more of that stone. And we're going to have to knock that burr off. All right, add some oil to this. See if that'll help us carry all that shrapnel away. Shrapnel, right? That's the right phrase? If you have a better one, put it in the comments. What do we call those shavings? Yeah. Pulling too hard on that. Right there. Not as much burr right there. Then it comes back. And then not as much out there. So there was definitely a lot of unevenness with these shears and this edge. Back here, there's no burr. And I still need to get it out there on this edge. Now, one thing about sharpening this, we're not dealing with a traditional knife. We're not going to flip this over and do the other side necessarily, because this is a chisel grind. There's only one side of the blade that has an edge to it at all. And so that's the only place we're doing any sharpening is on that one side. Lost that. Every time I hit that real hard, it loosens that a little bit. Keep an eye on that. And I want to make sure I'm going all the way to the tip, all the way to the edge there, and all the way back here on the heel. And I'm guessing I'm not going to do a lot of work up there. The bulk of the cutting is probably going to be from here on back. But I do feel like this back heel of the tool will be used a lot. And so I do want to work on that quite a bit. And I'm getting a lot of oil residue coming down the bottom there. It's good. I know there's lubrication on it. What I do have is a more consistent edge now. The edge is straight. There's no more bending to it like you saw. You might have noticed at the beginning. I'm working on the hot spots now, primarily this heel and tip. I want to make sure that I've got, there we go. All right, so now we've got the burr all the way across, so how do we get rid of that burr? And that's the next thing that we've got to look at, because this isn't going to work with a burr. So we'll take another 250 grit. And we're just going to knock that down. Just flat and take that away. I'll have to do that without the clamp on it there. Okay, and so now, well, let's do a little test. What do we get if we... All right, that's cutting pretty good. I think that'll probably cut grass. And I don't know that I really need to worry about clamps getting in the way. I don't know that I need to worry about going finer, but let's do it. Let's go to 400 grit. I have to give a shout out to Matthew Powell for suggesting that stone holder idea. That was really a genius idea, and I'm grateful that he came up with that. So thanks, Matt, for bringing that to my attention. So I'm going to refine the edge a little bit with 400, just with forward passes, so I'm not recreating that burr. All right, I think that is going to do it. Just like that, we've got our shears back in working order with a little bit of work on the ViperSharp. So what I'm going to do is just take this 250 flat against there, and then I'm not going to put it in the system, but I am going to just drag a strop over that a little bit. I'm not going to do any extreme stropping here. Again, with these being a simple yard tool, I don't think I need a whole lot of perfection there. Getting some good cutting back here. Now that front part, I don't know if that is a sharpness issue or more an issue of this movement going on there. But there we are. Shears sharpened.